Hey, I'm Rachel, the CEO of Intrinio. In this video, I'm going to get vulnerable and tell you the 5 things I wish I had known before I started a fintech company. The number one thing I wish I knew prior to starting my company, and the number one warning I would give any fintech companies I work with, is that data will be the most expensive and most important thing you do. Fintech companies run off of data. It's our fuel, our raw materials, and our oxygen. Whether you rely on market data, consumer data, real estate data, banking data, or economic data, I can promise you that this will be your biggest expense. The price tag on the data is not the only premium you'll pay. Integrating it, managing it, supporting it, updating it, and switching between providers is resource heavy and takes a lot of time. This means you've got to have a data strategy, work with solid, reliable providers, and save money wherever you can. If you don't, this expense can turn into a liability, and in many cases, even sink your business under its weight. The second thing I wish I knew before starting a fintech company is that it is far more effective to hire great developers who can learn finance, not the other way around. I may get canceled for this, but it's way easier for a developer to learn about finance than it is for a finance grad to learn how to code. I can vouch for this out of pure experience. I was a finance grad who taught myself how to code, and I was terrible at it. I was good enough to get us from A to B, but just ask my CTO how many skeletons he has uncovered in our code base. Alternatively, once I got out of the code base and started hiring brilliant engineers, I found them picking up the finance nuances quite easily. You don't have the luxury of taking a decade to learn how to code, or of assuming financial experts can build great tech. Developers know how to learn and fail fast, and they're also self-starters. Many of my engineers proactively took finance courses online. Trust me when I tell you, this is the way to go. The next thing I wish I knew before launching my fintech startup is that most financial institutions aren't ready to partner with you. It's alluring to hope for a large financial institution or a corporate to swoop in and solve all of your problems. In rare cases, this actually happens, but I wouldn't bet on it. Inherently, financial institutions are not set up to innovate themselves, much less through an external partner. I actually wrote an entire article on this for Forbes that you can check out in the link in the description. But it all comes down to culture, risk aversion, processes, size, and the innovator's dilemma. The hard part about this tip is that they will lie to you and say that they are interested. Often, they'll drag on this illusion for months, even years. I've thrown another link into the description with an alarming article dropped by Forbes, the beginning of the end of Bank-Fintech partnerships. Make sure to check that out. To be fair, at Intrinio, we have several great institutional partnerships, but I also wasted a lot of time on the wrong ones, and I wish I'd been more prepared. The fourth thing I wish I knew before entering the fintech industry is the difference between DaaS and SaaS. This one is a bit niche, but it was important for us. I historically thought of Intrinio as a SaaS business because we sold subscriptions to data. What I didn't realize is just how different software as a service is from data as a service. This has only recently started to get attention, but there's a great article also linked below by Abraham Thomas on the economics of data businesses. This was a complete reality shift for me, and it fundamentally changed how I think about Intrinio. Chances are, in fintech, you are, to some degree, a data business, so make sure to give that a read. All right, the last thing I wish I knew before starting a fintech company is that this path will require superhuman conviction and resilience. Startups in general are hard. Most of them fail. The stress is intense, the stakes are high, and the workload is heavy. But innovating in fintech is its own special form of hell. The financial industry is remarkably reliant on outdated technologies, methodologies, ideologies, and processes. It's also run by people who are resistant to change, fearful of risk, hamstrung by regulation, and who take comfort in the way it's always been done. You've got an uphill battle ahead of you, but it's worth it. Brace yourself for failure, denial, closed doors, and lots of resistance. Sharpen your conviction. Remember your passion and find your resilience, because you're gonna need it. Okay, hindsight is 2020. So here's a summary of the 5 things I wish I had known before starting a fintech company. Data will be the most expensive and most important thing you do. Hire great developers who can learn finance, not the other way around. Most financial institutions aren't ready to partner with you. DaaS and SaaS are not the same thing. And lastly, your path will require superhuman conviction and resilience. I hope this is helpful to anyone entering the fintech space. There's still plenty of opportunity and a deep need for innovation, so I wish you the best of luck. Drop any comments you have below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for listening.